Hey guys, Jason Creel. I want to take the recommendation that someone left in a comment, and I want to basically recap my 2015 season and give you a preview of what my business plan is for 2016. So just to give you the recap of 2015, I'm going to try to be detailed in the recap to give you an explanation of how I did things and why I did things. I moved from Montgomery, Alabama to just outside of Birmingham last year, and so I had to start all over with my business. So I sold my business in Montgomery, moved up here, and I decided to mow lawns, but also to get into weed control and fertilization. So that was about a year ago. We moved around Christmas a year ago. So I moved, had literally zero customers. I've got a wife and 3 kids, now expecting a 4th. So I had to put together a business pretty fast to make money. So I had some money to get started with, at least a little bit, and deciding, I'm going to do the weed control and I'm going to do mowing. And I would decide later whether, pursue both or just do one or the other. So anyway, I have a friend who helps me with the weed control as far as teaching me all that there is to know about that, because it's a lot higher learning curve. So I took my test probably late 2014 for that and passed that. And then fast forward to January 2015, so a year ago, I purchased a tank sprayer for a 400-gallon split unit tank sprayer. I had just bought an F-250 truck to be able to hold that thing. So I bought the tank sprayer from Graham Spray Equipment. It cost about $11,000, which I know is expensive, but it's built to last. So it was about this time a year ago that I got my first customer, and I remember it was at a family dinner, and I don't want to pressure family to use my business, but one of my wife's cousins told me that she was going to let me start spraying her yard. So that was my first customer. Like I said, I'm married at the time I had 2 houses and 3 kids. I had to make money. So I began, as far as what I did, I started calling on the mowing guys here in the city I live in, and I called probably 20 of them, maybe 25, I don't know, as many as I could find phone numbers for that looked semi-reputable. And I was telling them, hey, I've been in the lawn business, I'm starting to do weed control fertilization. If you don't have someone that you're sending those customers to, I would be happy to meet you in person, exchange business cards, and I'll give you $50 for every referral you send to me. Some of them I would even spray their yard for free, one time. Just trying to build some credibility with those guys. Well, out of the 20 or 25 I called, I ended up with 4 or 5 of those guys who regularly would send me customers throughout the year. And through that, I got, 30 to 40 customers probably from referrals from those mowing guys. And true to my word, I would give them $50 for each referral. That's something I'm planning to continue to do this year. I may try to call on a few more mowing guys, see if I can find 1 or 2 more that send me referrals. That worked great. And so, but again, that I didn't start getting those referrals probably till March or April. The other thing I did, I got postcards printed from Vistaprint, and because I was focused on mowing and spraying, I had a card that had a nice looking landscape on it, and was trying to market myself both as mowing and spraying. I think that was a mistake, because while there are some customers who want one company that can do everything, I don't think most residentials that's the best. So I really think I hurt myself on both of those areas, because I think most people wanted somebody that was either going to do the mowing or either going to do the spraying, and at least in their minds, this is my speculation, that if somebody was mowing, then they probably weren't an expert in the spray, and vice versa. So I didn't get a great return on the postcards. Some, because I'm new to the area, I don't know the neighborhoods that well, and my business is brand new. No one ever heard of it, So I'm not established in the area. I don't know which neighborhoods are the best, as far as picking up new customers. And I think it was a bad decision to put both mowing and spraying on the postcard. So that didn't work out so well. Well, I decided, since I'm planning to be here for the long term and have my business for a long term, I built a website for my lawn business, alabamalawnpros.com. And, that's something I don't think I ever did in Montgomery. I did have one website at one point, but I didn't utilize it much. So built the website, and over the course of the summer, with the help from someone in the search engine optimization, I ended up reaching #1 on Google for my city. And so at that point, I really started getting a lot of calls from the internet. And so starting in the springtime, I'm putting out postcards. I got some return, but not great. I also did direct mail. I didn't pay. It's too expensive, or I thought so, to do direct mail, like mailing your own advertising. So basically, I had an ad that went, packaged with a bunch of other ads. It was went to 10,000 homes. I think it was like $400 for 2 months for it to go out, and I got, I might have picked up 5 or 6 customers from that. It wasn't a great return, honestly, and it's something I don't think I'm going to do this year. So, got referrals from lawn guys, did the direct mail, did the postcards, and had my website. Those were kind of the main things I had going last year. Through doing that, in the spring, I started to get calls. I started picking up, family members, that sort of thing. I started to get a lot of referrals from the mowing guys, and that got me going. Come the summer, my website gets to #1 on Google. I started getting a lot of internet traffic, getting people that way. So sometime late summer, I hit 100 customers, So, and what I was also doing, because like I said, I've just got to make a living this first year in 2015, moving to a new city. I was working 1 or 2 days a week sometimes with a friend of mine, one of the guys I'd reached out to, sending me customers who had a mowing business. I would work with him 1 or 2 days a week mowing lawns, and so he was paying me. I also had picked up, throughout the year, I had gotten 15 to 20 mowing customers myself, so I was mowing my own yards 1 or 2 days a week, and then basically every other month I had to go do my lawn treatments for the spraying and fertilizer, weed control. So through doing all that, I bought as far as equipment goes, I bought the F250 that I got a great deal on. I put some dents in it since I had it, unfortunately. Bought the spray tank for 11 grand. I bought a 5x10 trailer. I bought my Red Max backpack blower, a Husqvarna string trimmer. I bought a older model Toro 44-inch zero-turn mower for $2,500. Ended up selling it at the end of the year for $2,400, and so felt pretty good. I made it a year and didn't really have any maintenance issues other than changing the belts out. So anyway, the year went pretty well. When people asked me, I said, hey, for the first year, you know what, you're trying to survive basically. I think it went about as good as I could have hoped for. Got just over 100 customers. And so that brings us to now. And so I think I was figuring up some stuff for tax purposes at the end of the year. My gross revenue for year one was somewhere around $48,000, which ain't great, but I was working by myself, so I had very little expenses. But I think, like I said, I survived year one after moving, after a year ago having no customers and gotten up to a little over 100. So I'm feeling super optimistic headed into 2016. So what's planned this year? I sit here, it's January, mid-January. What are we going to do for 2016? Well, there's some great advantages. One, last year I was moving. I'm trying to buy a house, sell a house, get everything moved. I had to get logos, postcards, business cards, truck, sprayer, mower. When you're just running around like a crazy person, it's hard to have a successful business. So what cost me in that last year is I wasn't fully prepared to pick up as many customers as possible during March, April, and May, which is, your peak season, at least for me here in Alabama. I wasn't prepared because I, still trying to get moved, settle in the house, and just, chaos going on. Well, this year, obviously, I'm settled at home and got my business is more established. At least have 100 people that can refer me, where last year I had 0. So that'll help. I made a few changes. So instead of using those postcards, basically I'm trying to focus primarily on the weed control and fertilization. I'm going to still be mowing yards this year, but I'm not planning on adding any mowing customers. I'm going to, give them to a friend of mine who's in the lawn business. So because I get calls from the internet, people want me to mow the grass, and I'm just going to tell them, hey, I'm not taking on any. Doesn't mean it's a bad thing. I just personally felt like I either needed to hire someone to be able to help with the mowing and let me handle the spraying, and try to make that jump to where I'm, taking on commercial properties, or I just needed to focus on the spraying and do less mowing. And to me, I didn't feel like I was in a position to make that jump to do everything, to do the, I feel like I would end up this year, what I felt like I was going to have more work than I would be able to do by myself, but not really enough to hire someone. And I didn't feel like I was going to be able to make that jump. So it was just a business decision that I'm going to focus more on the spraying. It's been more profitable for me, and so that's what I'm going to move forward. I'm going to still mow yards 1 or 2 days a week for this year. And so I sold that mower. I bought a 52-inch Hustler Mini Z, which I feel like was an upgrade. That cost $28.50, I believe, is what I paid for it. So I sold the other one for $2,400. Bought this for $28.50, but I feel like I upgraded, in my opinion. And I like the Hustler mowers a lot. So still use same Red Max blower, same string trimmer, same trailer. Instead of using those postcards, I've got door hangers that I ordered from Vistaprint, and like I said, to me they're really well done. I don't think I've ever used door hangers. I always use postcards, and I'm really either one. Both serve kind of the same purpose. I got these door hangers because, anyway, the way I had them customized is where you can put the actual price on there. So I'm not going to use them in every neighborhood. I'm only going to put them in certain neighborhoods where the yards are the same size and I know how much I'm going to charge. So like where you have these little garden homes, and I'll put on there, $35 per application. And so that way someone gets it and they can see the price right on the door hanger. So I'm going to use those this year. Other things I'm going to do, I'm probably not doing the direct mail like I did last year. My website, as far as I know, is still #1 on Google. So I'm where that didn't happen last year until the summer. I'm hoping to be #1 this spring when I get the huge push. So I'm really hoping to get a lot of traffic from the website and be able to pick up a lot of customers this year on that. Other thing I'm going to do, I have typed up a letter that I have 1 or 2 specific neighborhoods in mind where they're building houses. You got young families moving in, young professionals, and they're just building houses like crazy. So I want to send out a stamped, letter on an envelope that I handwrite the address on, and put a letter in there that has a special offer. Now the offer, I'm not 100% sure what it's going to be, whether it's half off your first treatment or a specific amount of credit toward your first treatment. So, but I'm going to do that because I feel like that, even though that's expensive, you got to put a stamp on every one. It's time consuming. I feel like these are prime neighborhoods, and I want to get this letter in their hands soon. So I'm actually planning on working on that today. And the letter will have an expiration as far as when the offer expires. So I'm trying to get people to sign up or not sign up, there's no contract, but to try to commit to my lawn business, you know, in January and February, before everybody starts marketing towards them in March. So we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna try that. So anyway, that's kind of the plan. You know, I'm hoping to go from 100 to 300 customers this year. I feel like a lot of that's going to come this spring, hopefully from the website, hopefully from the door hangers. I also use Thumbtack. I forgot to mention that. It's something I used last year, and you know, we'll use it some. I don't get a lot of leads in my specific area off Thumbtack, but I am going to use thumbtack.com. If you're not familiar with that, it's pretty self-explanatory if you go to their website. So that's the plan. Also, last year, I forgot to mention, I went to the GIE Expo and I won a $8,500 Permagreen Triumph Ride-On Spreader Sprayer. So that was probably the highlight of the whole year. And it was just fantastic. I mean, so I used it on my last application of 2015. And so instead of pushing a fertilizer spreader, I'm now riding on a Permagreen, which made all the difference in the world, especially on hilly yards. So I wasn't breathing as hard when I got done. So anyway, this is kind of my strategy, what I'm looking to do, how I'm hoping to grow, hoping to get to 300 customers, hoping in 2017 to be able to hire someone. So hope that helps. Leave your comments below. I'd like to know what you guys are doing for marketing. If you have any specific questions on what I do, you know, feel free to ask in the comments. I would try to get back to you. Thanks.
Hey, thanks for watching the video. If you're in a lawn care business or thinking about starting a lawn care business, click the subscribe button below to stay tuned to all the latest videos.